Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We have 2 meetings and a budget hearing tonight, so we have a lot to cover. First meeting is a meeting of the Cunningham Town Board. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes. Ammons?
Here.
Brown?
Here.
Jacobson?
Here.
Hazen?
Here.
Miller?
Here.
Roberts? Wu?
Here.
Marlin?
Here. Does anyone wish to address the Cunningham Town Board? I don't have any slips filled out. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to minutes of the previous meetings. We have 3 minutes to approve from the meeting on May 1st, 2017, which was the Township Board meeting, a special meeting on May 15th, and then a joint meeting on May 15th between the Town Board and the City Council. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved by Bill, seconded by Dean. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Same sign. Okay, those pass. Committee to verify bills, Township Supervisor Danielle Chenoweth.
Thank you. So I've tried to set this up so it's a little bit easier to understand. So you essentially in front of you, and I also sent this by email, basically have income and expenses for the month of May, and they're divided by division, so you can see what's in the supervisor, what's in assessor, and what's in GA restricted. The second, so those are the top 2 pages. You'll see the total is $88,818.59, which should also balance with this detailed account. So the detail account basically looks line item by line item using the budget that was approved by the town board last year, and shows expenses just for the month of May against those line items. And you'll see if you flip to the back of page 8, essentially, oh, there's not a total, but the total comes to the same amount as on the top page. So essentially, this is the detail, and this is the summary. Any questions?
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I move approval.
I second.
Any?
Yeah, amounts already stated, so it's in the record.
Okay.
Per fund.
Yeah, the 2 amounts.
Chair Marlin?
Okay.
I've got the amounts right here. The town fund
Okay.
is $69,938.35, and the GA is $18,880.24.
Okay. You concur?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there a motion to approve?
I move approval of
Okay.
the GA, the town fund in the amount of $69,938.35, and the general assistance fund in the amount of $18,880.24.
Okay.
I'll second.
Moved by Bill, seconded by Mary Alice. Any further discussion? Do we need a roll call? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. Reports of officers.
So process for new council members or new board members, essentially I'll pass around this approved claim, and so everyone should sign it. The clerk will sign it, pass it back to me, and that is what I file. So I have a couple of notes that I included in, I'll do a report from the supervisor each month. So essentially, I want to let folks know that this summer I'll do orientation at the board meetings, just piece by piece. I'd like to orient the board to the role of the township, our history, and our programs. And I just want to, again, state, although your statutory role is limited to fiscal oversight, my door is open to you. So the township budget process, so I basically laid out in this memo, we're subject to the Illinois municipal budget law. That statute provides that a combined budget and appropriation ordinance prior to the end of the first quarter of the fiscal year be passed. And so essentially we have till the end of September. There's dates, essentially we have to I have to propose a tentative budget to you. You make it public for inspection 30 days prior to final action. There needs to be at least one public hearing, and there needs to be 30 days public notice of this hearing. So essentially, it's a kind of 60-day minimum time frame. The draft is usually started in March with a vote in June or July, but given that the budget process started just 2 weeks ago with the turnover of the supervisor's office, I'm suggesting the following budget schedule, which is by July 7th, the legal notice would be announced for the August 7th public hearing on the township budget, that August 2nd, it would come out in your packets. A tentative budget would be made available for public inspection, and you'd see it at that time. August 7th would be a public hearing on the budget. That would start the clock for 30 days, and we would have passage of the township budget September 11th. And just so you know, September 30th would be the last day of budget could be passed. The last piece is we did have a closed session on the agenda for today, and there's no need for that. I've alerted the clerk, so we can remove that agenda item. Any questions?
You had a question, Jared? Okay, okay. All righty. Any unfinished business before this board? Nope, okay. New business. We have several resolutions. First is resolution number T 2017-06-022R, which is a resolution ascertaining prevailing rate of wages.
So my understanding is this is a resolution that's passed each year. It tends to be passed in June, and it ascertains prevailing rate of wages. And you have a resolution before you.
Is there a motion?
I move approval.
Motion by Eric, seconded by Jared.
Just to be absolute, maybe the new members already know all about this, but this is obligatory. It's not optional for us to do it. And other terrible, terrible things would happen.
Bill.
Just had a question. I think for the city, we passed one the last 2 years. It kind of kept the prevailing wages the same as the previous year because the state hadn't published a countywide prevailing wage rate. Is that right? Does that sound right to people?
That is my recollection
So is
also.
this something that has recently been published by the state, or is this the one that we've used from the previous year?
Well, I actually called the Illinois Department of Revenue last year and asked them about that. And they said that, well, first people should know that the Department of Revenue sets this for each county. We don't set it. We're supposed to adopt what they set. I could think of a simpler solution, but they didn't ask what I thought. They told me that they don't update this every year. They want us to pass this resolution every year, and we simply adopt whatever their latest schedule of wages is. So we may well be doing exactly the same thing for several years in a row, but that's what the statute calls for, and that's what we're doing.
Eric?
Was the schedule more frequently updated under previous administrations?
I thought it was, yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that passes. Next up is resolution number T 2017-06-003R, a resolution authorizing the Cunningham Township Supervisor to sign a contract with Health Alliance Medical Plans for health insurance coverage effective January 1st, 2017.
So probably the most obvious question is January 1st, 2017 was a while ago. So why is this being passed now? That was also my question for Fred on my first day. My understanding, and Fred can fill in the details, is essentially in the past, the township and the city have had similar health insurance. Last year, the city, or starting with the beginning of this year, the city migrated to a different health insurance plan. I believe it's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. At that time, the sitting township supervisor chose to go with Health Alliance because it matched the needs of the employees in the township better, and started a process to get coverage. Our attorney raised concerns about the contract that had to do with the sharing of Social Security numbers. That contract then went through the long process that happens when things are handed over to attorneys, and it came out the other side. Sorry, Fred. And it came out the other side most recently from the Health Alliance attorneys with the change that was requested. So at this point, it's the township supervisor's opinion, with input from our attorney, that we should sign the contract with the changes made. That said, the Health Alliance insurance has been in place since January of this year. So we simply need to sign the contract to move forward. Anything else you want to add? Okay.
6 months is pretty good. Okay, is there a motion?
Move approval.
Moved by Aaron,
Second.
seconded by Bill. Any further discussion? Bill?
I just noticed that Exhibit C wasn't with it. That was the one that was supposed to show the rates. Is that something that's proprietary and we aren't supposed to see? Or?
What was the question?
Exhibit C in the contract was supposed to be the health insurance rates, but I didn't see it in my packet.
Let's see.
B and C are missing.
Yeah, I see reference to Exhibit C, but I'm not seeing it in the packet. And I don't have the rates in front of me at that point. At this point, I have looked them over, and they're extremely competitive. They are different than the city in that they're based on age rather than kind of a standard across the board rate, but the rates are within reason.
Do you know how it compared to the previous year by any chance?
I'm not sure I could get any answer to that question for you.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. Last up is Resolution Number T, 2017-06-005R, resolution appointing Cunningham Township Supervisor as the authorized agent for the... No, you're right. Sorry, 2017-06-004R, resolution relating to participation by elected officials in the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. Sorry.
Sure. So essentially, March 3rd, we received a letter from the IMF board about a board resolution. The IMF Board of Trustees has adopted a board resolution requiring recertification of IMRF eligibility every 2 years for all elected positions. So essentially, every 2 years we have to pass resolutions reaffirming that the elected positions meet the IMRF hourly standard, and we select either 600 or 1,000 hours per year. What we have done is to elect 1,000 hours per year, which roughly comes to 20 hours a week. Typically, these are considered full-time positions, and so essentially, we just need to reconfirm that at this time.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is that moved by Jared?
Yep.
Seconded by Aaron. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. And last up is Resolution T 2017-06-005R, which is the resolution appointing Cunningham Township Supervisor as the authorized agent for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund.
Awesome. So essentially, this allows me to talk to IMRF. So I haven't been able to make changes to IMRF, and I need this to do that to process payroll. So this would authorize me as the new supervisor to speak to IMRF.
So moved.
Moved by Aaron,
Second.
seconded by Eric. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that passes. We won't have a closed session tonight, so with seeing no further business before the town board, this meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.